And I'm just down at the entrance to Belfast Harland Wolff Shipyard that has closed and has gone into administration, but there is a glimmer of hope, and the boys are out here protesting. These are all yard workers, and they're trying to save their jobs, save our shipyard from being one of the biggest shipyards in the world, which had, I don't know, 35,000 workers at one stage. Belfast has been reduced to nothing, and the decline started probably in the late 60s, 70s, when successive Labour and Conservative governments withdrew any subsidies, and this meant that all the foreign yards, particularly the European yards and places like Norway, places like France, Italy, Spain, Germany, they all continued building ships, cruise ships, and a lot of the cruise ships coming in, and none of them are built in UK yards. And you've got to ask yourself, what kind of governments allowed our shipbuilding industry right across the UK, never mind Harland Wolff, what kind of governments allowed our shipbuilding industry to be lost and all go to Europe? Even Italy, on the verge, many would say, on the verge of bankruptcy there a few years ago, and it's producing cruise ships, and that's an absolute disgrace that Belfast, with one of the biggest and best shipyards in the entire world at one stage, and it's just been allowed to die by our successive Labour and Tory governments. It's an indictment. One of the biggest dry docks in the world, two of the biggest cranes in the world, Samson and Goliath. Absolutely ridiculous. And not a tanker, not a cargo vessel is produced hardly in any UK yard either. They can't even produce their own naval vessels, hardly naval supply vessels in the UK yards, because all the skills that you would have had have almost died off because they've been allowed to go to Europe. Absolutely ridiculous. So good on the guys here for fighting to save their jobs and bringing this whole issue, massive issue, to the fore in the media, because our government would have just sort of rolled over and died. United we bargain, divided we beg. Isn't that the truth? It seems like in this day and age, unless you kick up a dust and actually use the violent method, unless you do that, nobody is prepared to listen to you. So good on these guys. Peaceful protest down here at Harland Wolff. And here's some of the supporters up on the wall. So the latest information going around is that there are a couple of tenders in to buy the yard, but they're still waiting on money to be put on the table.